Hello, Pecan Plantation. I am Rebecca Van Buren. I'm a licensed real estate broker here in the great state of Texas. I'm excited today to be with Brandl Stephenson. He is our EMS Chief here in Pecan Plantation. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So tell me, what on earth does an EMS Chief do?
Day-to-day administration of our EMS department. My job is to take care of our crews so they can take care of the people in the community.
Okay.
So,
how many crews do we have?
We've got 3 shifts, A, B, and C. They run 4896s. They're on for 48 hours and they have 4 days off. We have
Hold on a minute. What did you call it? 496s?
4896. So
4896. Yeah. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. It really can stretch out. But then we have 4 days off.
Okay.
The crews will have 4 days off where they can recuperate, rest. If they have another job, if they work part-time, they can go do that.
Wow.
So,
okay.
And that schedule has kind of become industry standard. So
okay.
It's really beneficial for them. I
only know about whatever the song is about 24 on and the country song about a fireman. 24 on and 48 off.
Okay.
They call me a fireman.
Oh, George Strait.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. So
the older schedule is 24-48, and that's actually pretty hard. But we have, we're fully staffed. We have 2 medics and 2 EMTs per shift.
Okay. What's the difference between a medic and an EMT?
So an EMT is considered an entry level in EMS. They can take vitals, they can splint, they can apply oxygen, blood sugar, take your blood sugar, things like that. Paramedic has the full gamut of healthcare is open to them. They can apply our 12-lead monitor. They can read the 12-lead strip. Cardiology is kind of our forte.
What's a 12-lead monitor? What is that?
The monitor's inside right now. The crews are using it. Yeah, the
sticker thingy, mm-hmm. And then that tells you your blood pressure or something, doesn't it?
Well, blood pressure is part of your vital signs. So
okay,
yeah,
vitals.
It will give you your vital signs, blood pressure, heart rate, oxygen saturations, but it also will show your cardiac rhythm. And depending on your complaint, that may or may not play a part in how we intervene in that. And a medic has a whole list of interventions at their disposal.
Okay.
So everything from medicine to electrical therapy, if it's cardiac related, we've got a whole list of things that we can do to help you that are above and beyond what an EMT can do.
Got it.
So,
and your goal is just to get there, assess the situation, and then get them somewhere, right?
Well, our goal is to get there, do a proper patient assessment, and start the chain of care.
Okay.
So if I'm dealing with, let's say, a heart attack, I want to establish IVs. I want to administer fluids as necessary, medications as necessary. I want to make a proper transport decision. Now, do you need to go to our local hospital, or do we need to go to a more advanced facility? And where time is really going to be of the essence. So if that's the case, then we'll be putting you on a helicopter and flying you into Fort Worth.
Wow.
It's about a 12-minute flight versus a 45-minute drive. So,
and y'all are the ones assessing that? Or are you communicating with the patient if they're able to communicate? Everybody's making this decision together.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of times time is a critical factor.
Or we wouldn't be calling 911.
Right.
Yeah.
But as much as possible, you want to inform the patient. You want to allow them to make an informed decision on their own health care. What we're trying to do is get you to the most appropriate facility to receive the care that you need to have.
Yeah, because you are our 911 service provider here in Pecan Plantation,
correct.
Right?
Correct.
And so somebody calls 911, what happens?
So someone calls 911, it goes to Hood County Dispatch. They're our dispatch office.
Okay.
They tone us out. We get tones over the radio, and we get some initial dispatch information. Now, there's a thing called a CAD, a computer-aided dispatch, and there's the
computer that's basically telling you the address. And
yeah, we've got another one in there, and so the crews can look up on a map where it's at. They can see the address, and they have what are called call notes that give them more information.
Got it. Like patient is in the shower, doors unlocked, that whatever the 911 person is saying.
It gives age, gender, chief complaint. If there's a gate code or a garage door code or something like that. Yeah. Keys hidden under the floor mat, whatever.
So right now we're sitting in an ambulance. And how many of these do we have? And is this state of the art, or how old is something like this?
So we have 3 ambulances, and they're all licensed to a mobile intensive care unit, which is the highest we can go in the state of Texas on a ground ambulance.
Wow.
To have that, we do have to have advanced credentialing for our people. So each shift has a certified flight and critical care paramedic, which allows us to have a bit more latitude in what we can define as our scope of practice and our protocol.
Okay.
Like I said, we have 3 of them. The oldest truck we have is 2018. The other 2 are 2020.
2020, those are new.
They're very new, and they're generously donated to the department.
Really?
So we take care of them.
by a member that is here.
Yeah, by a member of Pecan, yes.
Wow, we have a member that's donated 3 ambulances.
Yeah, it was extremely generous. So I spend a good part of my day making sure maintenance is done on these 3 vehicles.
Yeah.
And making sure that we have everything we need to keep them on the road and keep them safe for our crews and patients.
So what's a typical call like in Pecan Plantation?
So typically what happens, it's kind of shift dependent. I don't micromanage the crews and they kind of make their own decisions. A lot of times we'll send out, someone calls 911, we get the information, and we'll send out 1 truck. There's at least one shift they like to send out 2 trucks just in case you need extra lift help, or maybe you need a piece of equipment. Say your monitor battery went dead and you need an extra monitor battery. Well, I have one. So,
yeah.
But regardless, you're going to get an ambulance that's going to arrive to your house as quickly as possible.
But what kind of calls are you going on? I mean, what are people calling you for?
Oh, it runs the gamut. It runs everything from I need help from here to here, or I need help off the floor, to, heart attack, stroke. In Pecan, we don't get a lot of the, we in EMS call the good calls, the gunshots and the trauma, the car wrecks.
That's the good call.
Those are the good calls. What we have here are a lot of medical calls.
Yeah.
And the difference between the two that I used to tell my EMS students was the difference between like a short order cook and a chef. So the short order cook is kind of your trauma, like let's stop the bleeding, let's splint it, let's keep them warm, let's get them.
Exciting.
And it's exciting, it's moving. Yeah. The medical calls, you have to really think, like what's going on with them? What is happening? How can I fix it? Do I have the tools to fix it? If I do, how do I utilize them appropriately? Yeah. So we get a lot of those calls.
Are all the people volunteers?
No, we're a full-time paid department.
Wow. So at PPOA, we're paying for EMS through our PPOA, but there's got to be another way you're generating revenue.
So the main way that we generate revenue is through billing insurance. Okay. Whenever we do get a patient, we do bill insurance. Right now, Medicare is our biggest payor. So that's where we get the majority of our revenue. Our PPEMS VFD auxiliary is extremely generous. And I would encourage anyone who is a member here to attend a meeting, consider donating your time, join the auxiliary. They do so much around here, everything from raffles to golf tournaments. I mean, you see their signs all over the place. They have a Facebook group. They meet here at 9518 here at the EMS building in the auxiliary room. They meet once a month, they have a potluck, and like this past Christmas, they donated, I think it was $64,000.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. It's incredible. The generosity of the people here blows me away.
It's fantastic. Well, I tell you, I've lived out here 21 years. If you've ever had to call 911 out here, oh my gosh, you're going to become a believer. I just think I have said for years that our EMS is probably one of the #1 benefits to coming to Pecan Plantation, but you don't even know that until you get here and you call 911, and then you're a true believer. Yeah, absolutely.
That's very generous. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Sandra Winfield and George Gertis have worked.
They're both amazing. They've been here forever.
And they built all of this pretty much from the ground up. Yeah. I mean, I was handed the department about 1.5 years ago from Sandra. Yeah. And I was handed this well-functioning, well-running machine, and I'm just trying to build on what they've already established. So it's an incredible department that we have out here.
So if you're picking us up and you're coming and caring for us or assessing us and we don't have insurance, what happens? Do you bill us personally?
No. If you're a Pecan resident, you will never see a bill for EMS service.
Wow. That's just because we are a member of Pecan Plantation.
Correct.
Never see a bill. So the types of bills we would see is if you're going to care flight us somewhere, or if we're outside of the gates of Pecan and we need to have an ambulance.
Correct. If you're outside the gates of Pecan and Texas EMS, who's the Hood County provider, is your transporting provider, then if you're not a member, then you will see a bill from them. Now, from my understanding, the dollar on the AMUD bill qualifies you as a member. Yeah. You shouldn't be seeing a bill from them. Same thing with the dollar to CareFlight. You're considered a member and you shouldn't be getting a bill from CareFlight. If you do somehow inadvertently get a bill, bring it down here to the EMS station. Renee Garrett, our Deputy Assistant Chief, she's amazing. Stuff like that. She'll handle it that day. It should never crush your desk.
Wow. So speaking of Renee, I hear she gives shots and she doesn't hurt. Is that true?
I guess it depends on your own pain tolerance, but no, we do flu shots down here. Okay. Whenever we have them available, I think they're $20. Okay. Sometimes we'll get people come in who take B12 shots, or they have some kind of prescribed steroid shot, and they'll come in and ask for assistance with it.
Oh, nice.
We're glad to do that. We'll get people coming in asking for blood pressure checks, for us to check their heart rhythm with our monitor, and they just want the information. Maybe they have a doctor's appointment the next day. Maybe they're just feeling a little tight in the chest. They just want to see what's going on. They have pre-existing conditions. So we're more than happy to assess you.
Yeah, that's great.
You just come down here, we'll assess you. It's not a problem.
If I'm having some sort of a heart episode, or if something's going on and I'm scared, is the best thing to do jump in my car and come to the EMS building?
No. The best thing to do would be to pick up your phone, call 911, and the dispatcher, while they're talking to you, will be dispatching us at the same time.
Got it. And what is your background?
I mean, it's pretty typical as far as EMS people go. I started off as a volunteer. My wife and I moved from Lubbock to Glen Rose back in 01 or so.
Go Tigers!
Go Tigers! And I started volunteering at the local, Somerville County Fire Department. Fell in love with EMS.
Wow.
Ended up going through the ranks, and I flew for 10 years, both in Hood County and out in West Texas.
You flew? What does that mean?
The medical helicopter.
Like you are assessing and working on people while in a helicopter going somewhere?
Yeah, I worked for Air Evac.
Okay.
And then I worked for another company out in West Texas doing fixed wing and rotor wing.
This has got to be so boring compared to whatever you saw.
It's a new challenge because I've spent my whole career on the operational side, and now I'm on the administrative side. So for the past year and a half, I feel like I've been drinking from a fire hose. It's just been, it's a completely new challenge, but it's
great.
It's
right?
great.
The people here are amazing.
The thing I'm enjoying is taking care of my crews. That's what I see my job as. I take care of my crews so they can take care of everyone else.
Cool. Well, is there anything that you would like to share with the PPOA community that you would like them to know?
I'd like them to know that we are always growing. We're always moving ahead. We're always looking forward to how we can continue to serve. One thing that I'm kind of looking forward to is establishing a new helipad over on the
landings.
The landings. Yeah. I'd like to have a helipad over there. Exact replica of the one that we have at the airport right now. That thing is perfect, and I love it. Yeah. So I'd like to have one up there too.
Thank you so much for taking time to sit down and visit with me, and we just really appreciate you. And let's stay tuned and see what videos come up next.